possibly big changes coming to the uniform in this year. A lot of feedback happening. We're going to talk about it right here. What is up, guys? You're tuning in to Nicky MGTV for another video. As always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below if you have questions. But as always, let's roll right into the topic. There's been a lot of news coming out about the new uniform, I guess, controversy and feedback from the fleet. If you guys don't know, we have the NW Type 3, the green ones, that a lot of people are missing the blue, like the green. It's very dividing in that fact because people think that for the Navy we should have blue. But the green, I guess, made more sense, so we moved to that one for the overall aspect of the service and other functions that we do besides just being on a ship. So anyway, it was about 2 years ago, I want to say, that this was being enforced, that we were going to have to wear it. And a lot of people adapted to the new idea that the rank was going to be placed on the chest on this little tab that would be slid up on the tab. And you wouldn't have to pay to sew that on, and you could easily remove it or put another one on if you made rank, decrease in rank, or whatever else. But previous iterations of the uniform in the Type 1, the ranks were on the collars and the cover. And I want to say, after the original rollout, the covers did have the rank on it, but they took that off to include the ace, which is the anchor of the Constitution, and the eagle. And pretty much now they're saying on the feedback that they were not happy with them, or males were not happy with them, because the new uniform has it on the tab, which is near their chest if it's a female, and they felt uncomfortable if this was going to be the only way to identify somebody by their rank versus the collar or the cover. I've personally, as a male, never felt uncomfortable having to look at someone and identify what their rank is, because I think it's pretty obvious that someone is looking at their rank and not looking at a certain specific body part. And I think this is maybe overreaching the boundaries of what we would actually consider a reason to change a uniform. I guess this is maybe making headlines just because of the fact that it's so shock culture out there, and maybe going beyond. Obviously, the life cycle of this uniform has only been officially for the entire fleet, I believe, about 2 years now. But if you look at the Type 1s, those were from 2009 timeframe until about 2 years ago. So if we're already looking at changing these uniforms, I'm tired of it. This, like, when I switched over and I made the video of the Type 3s, I originally came in with the Type 1s after I'd already joined, but we had the utilities before that, which looked like the janitor jail uniforms, and then we got the Type 1s, and then we got the Type 3s, and now I'm like, oh, and they also had the Type 2s that they were talking about testing, and it's just been chaos as far as uniforms goes. And honestly, I think the Navy itself is like, we need to relax and chill out as far as uniforms go. Personally, I think that we should probably just keep the Type 3s how they are for right now. I don't think anyone else has really complained about that. Maybe a few people, but again, I'm not a female, so I can't really talk about that aspect of feeling like harassed or something. And I do want to say that every time we talk about uniform changes, if there was anything I'd want to change, there's two things that I want to bring. Obviously, this is not a official submission to the uniform board at all, that they do take requests or recommendations or whatever else for looking at ways to enhance the way the fleet acts or wears a uniform or whatnot. But there's two things I want to see changed. One is the PT gear. Like, we went to this blue top and the blue shorts recently. I agree with that change, but that change would have been great with the first Type 1 iteration of the uniform that was blue, because just like the Marine Corps, because I love the Marine Corps Marpat uniform. If you guys don't know, I think it's the best uniform I've worn. Their PT gear is a green undershirt with green shorts, also known as silkies, and you can wear your PT shirt underneath your Marpat uniform, where it would be nice to have that PT uniform so people would feel like we're not having so many different things that we're throwing together. Maybe if we could just update the PT uniform so that way it makes the working uniform more functional, like the Marine Corps Marpat. That's just one thing to look at in my opinion. The second thing I would like to see changed is the service uniform. I honestly think the quality of the pants are horrendous, the black pants that we have to wear. The shirt, it just it stains so easily. On top of that, I find the fit to be atrocious on my personal wear of it, and I've been fitted, and you know, I've researched like how it's supposed to fit and all this stuff, and I just feel like it's like a square peg trying to go in a circle hole, and I never feel comfortable in that uniform out of any of them. I do believe that they could make more changes to make it comfortable or the material quality better. Also, they're saying that the universal unisex uniforms is what they're going to be going away from, because the Secretary of the Navy back then, Ray Mabus, had ordered to make them more unisex. That way it's like a sailor is a sailor. No matter what person you see in the uniform, it looks like that. I find that interesting because as maybe that was a push of society overall. That's maybe why that went to that aspect. But I will be interested to see if we just adapted the new dress blue uniform that now every female is required to wear as of this year. I believe January is when they're going to be required to wear it for the service uniform or for the dress uniform. The only identifying or change out of all of our uniforms that differentiate between the female and male right now is the service uniform, and that is the tan top is different in the pants because the females do not have to tuck in their shirts and the males do. I will be interested to see how they change that, or if they're going to keep it separate. So let me know what you guys think about this upcoming uniform debacle and the, I guess, controversy that's happening. But as always, if you guys do have questions about the military or anything else, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.